million people can live in one state and only get 2 votes.
Oh.
Welcome to the HarHar podcast.
Real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Wow.
love doing
You
that.
did.
That was perfect.
All right. Oh, you know what I just realized unintentionally? So I'm your host, Dorky Dev. Over to I think it's my right. Yeah, right? No. My left.
You're
Stage
right on the
right.
screen.
Stage right. Over on stage
Stage
right.
right, yes.
To me is K4J. Below me is Jim Eclectic. We've got on the opposite corner of me, Shriekuffs, Steven.
This chaotic motherfucker.
Dude, you are chaotic neutral every fucking time. It bothers me.
I don't know. He goes out of his way sometimes to push the bounds over into chaotic evil.
He's sometimes chaotic lawful though. You gotta give him or chaotic good. You can be chaotic lawful. You have your own code, but it's just I follow
Chaotic
chaos.
lawful.
Yeah, that's lawful evil, actually.
I feel like you wrote that D&D book, and I feel it was a napkin rather than a book.
My character is chaotic lawful. You can't. Yes, I can. I show the rules that my character follows. Oh.
This totally makes no sense. I love it.
Write that. I challenge you to put a chaotic lawful to paper. Like, just try to where it makes any kind of sense. Don't
It's
make
the
any
murder
kind of-
hobo class that came out.
We'll see how
Oh
it
my
goes.
gosh.
Welcome everyone. It's election day.
When you started that, I heard like either a firecracker or a gunshot. I'm like, oh, that's great. Already, the purge started.
The revolution has begun.
That's why I looked. I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, guess we know who won.
We'll see how this goes.
All right. Per our agreement, Dev, let's get it over with.
All right. Well, you're gonna get yours over with. A few of us might have a little bit more discussion, but so just so everyone knows, we're gonna talk about the election for a moment, essentially, maybe depending on how long that moment is, undefined length. But we will cap it off with a shot, and after that shot, we're not talking about it the rest of the podcast.
Well, we might murmur it underneath our breaths, but
Unless something absolutely crazy happens, like Texas goes blue.
I mean, hey.
If the counts are there for it, I'm gonna call it, okay?
All right.
But outside of
hour.
that, outside of something crazy like that happening, because that's wacky news right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So the qualifieds. That's fair. That's a fair point. I would love to argue that, but I can't.
Outside of something like that happening, we won't talk about it after. Okay. So the shot is our cutoff.
Okay.
With that, who wants to start if they want to start?
I don't want to start.
Okay, then I'll start.
Start it, Dev. Kick us off.
This election is probably the most important, and I know beyond just me that it is, because my dad is 56 years old, and this is the most nervous he's ever been about an election. And he's lived through half a century of them. He was born the year of an election.
Like, let's also stress that this is a man who has lived a half a century worth of elections and all the bullshit in between.
Uh-huh.
So essentially,
Like,
Ronald Reagan twice, if you think about it, because
This is
why?
yeah.
it's even worse. This is worse than what Reagan could have ever done. That's the thing. Like, if you look at it, like, what has happened the last 4 years? Not counting 2020, which is the mess that it is.
Oh,
Look before. Like, nothing has gotten done government-wise because we've had the Senate stalling everything, a president who doesn't do anything that isn't damaging things, like hurting immigrants, taking rights away from LGBTQ members, attacking people for like attacking Gold Star families. Like, what the fuck? Calling John McCain like a bitch, essentially. Like, I'm sorry, but like there's a long list of shit even before you look at the 2020 slate that proves this man is not fit for office.
Well, they even said that he was given the golden egg, right? And when he cracked it open, he essentially just gave it to his friends rather than the rest of the country. That's kind of what happened. So,
dude, okay, and let's just talk about number one. Like, I'm glad that money wasn't wasted on this. But what was one of the main bullet points during his original election? Something that he said he would see done, and it never got done. Yeah. And we discussed that since he got elected, that damn thing got talked about. What?
No,
in official like settings, right? We're talking like less than 10 times, maybe.
Yeah.
It's being built. It's we're
being built. Mexico is paying for it.
Ignore the fact that the tariffs make it so you have to pay for it, and ignore the fact that most of the building has just been redoing parts of the wall that were structurally damaged already. Ignore all that. The wall is being built.
You're giving me serious Alec Baldwin SNL vibes there.
Well, that's the problem. Most people's impersonation of Trump is now an impersonation of Alec Baldwin's impersonation of Trump.
For forever until the end of time, I will raise a glass to that. I'm totally fine with that.
That is what it is, though. Like, that's what most people's version of Trump is in their head now. Well, and I was watching. I haven't finished it yet. I'm watching some more news. They just put out like there's some more news movie, quote unquote, because like it's 2020, so fuck it. But he was talking like he's referencing a bunch of movies in it. The fact that like throughout the 80s, people wrote bad guys based off of Trump. You had a fucking Sesame Street bad guy, Donald Grump, a grouch who created a thing called Grump Tower out of trash cans to show off the problems of greed. If Sesame Street makes you the bad guy, you're the bad guy.
But he was in Home Alone.
They filmed it in his tower.
Oh my god, he was.
Yeah, dude. He has this thing that like if you film in his tower, he has to show up in your movie.
He needs a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's his stigma about it. Well, there's also a movie. It's the Little Rascals where he's taking popcorn out of the woman's popcorn. There's an outtake where they put it in the end credits where he spits down at a kid because the popcorn was bad.
Also, like they just took that from real life.
It was an outtake that like it was like off like the script kind of thing. You know, they probably said cut, and he spit out the popcorn, and there's a kid right below him. He's the bad guy. Biff Tannen is based off of him in the Back to the Future 3.
So I'm gonna throw a throwback out there that I'm kind of ashamed that I know about, but it makes me laugh thinking about it now. But in WWE, do either of you know what I'm talking about?
When he was in it?
So he did an appearance in WWE, essentially him versus Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hair versus hair. They were gonna they were gonna pick a fighter to represent them, and whoever lost the fight, the other's head had to get shaved.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, and this is like, and me as a kid, not really realizing, was actually rooting for Trump's guy. It helps that Bobby Lashley was his pick.
Also, he was the face in that fight.
He was the face, yeah. Which I mean, you couldn't have picked a better face to represent him too, because it was Bobby Lashley, who at the time was the ECW champion.
Yeah.
Why am I recalling all this shit? I haven't seen this in years.
Well, the other thing too about it is look who the heel was in the sense of
Umaga, 100%.
Well, also he's against McMahon.
He's against McMahon, which was like, Every time he was ever a heel, he was a heel to beat, like 100%.
Yeah, everyone loves to hate McMahon.
But
I don't watch wrestling, and I know you love to hate McMahon. Like,
Yeah.
dude, he does random face turns every so often. It's really weird. Anyway, back to kind of the subject of Trump, though. Like, such horrible acting on his part.
oh, he's the worst.
And I'm kind of looking back because like there was a part where Bobby Lashley's just getting the crap beat out of him, and he's sitting at ringside going, "What's going on here?" And stuff like that. And I'm just like, "What do you mean what's going on? Your dude's getting the crap beat out of him.
Yeah, like,
What's
well,
going?
you need to know.
That's what's going on. You are up to speed, sir."
Yeah. He's throwing the match.
He's doing the match. I don't think he ever said that. It was like, it's like, come on, man. Like I can't.
Well, if you watch like his Wolf of Wall or not Wolf, was it Wall Street sequel? It's just Wall Street, right? The one with Michael Douglas and Shia LaBeouf, which was a sequel to the one that Michael Douglas did with Charlie Sheen. Trump shows up in it when Michael Douglas is in the barber. If you watch that scene that was cut, he's so bad. It's so like, oh yeah, it's not the 80s anymore. It's a dangerous world.
Dude,
out
it's
there.
it's like the man in his head, he just thinks he just has to exist and crap just works out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm aware that this is like I deserve a salute, Captain Obvious, for that one, but I'm just, of the things that have been said, like that hadn't been said in this discussion
that's
yet.
fair. That's fair. I'll give you that, but I do have to give you. I mean,
no, that's fine. No, yeah, no, I deserve it.
I won't say
But-
Captain Obvious. I'll just give you the. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The dude got away with, quid pro quo. So, I mean, yeah, kind of.
so yeah.
I think wasn't it talked about that like if he loses this election, he's going to move out of the country?
God, don't tempt me with a good time.
I don't think so because like if he moves out of country, what if he moves to a place that won't extradite him?
I'm
for all
about to
the
say,
crimes he
yeah,
did?
no, he loses this, and he's like, the
He's moving to
criminal
Russia.
proceedings get
Oh,
to
yeah.
move a lot faster now when he's no longer president.
Which, again, bet you the day Biden is sworn in, all of a sudden Trump takes a plane ticket to see his buddies elsewhere.
Dude, can you believe? Oh my God! So, someone asked him, and again, for the record, I haven't watched the interview.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read the article or whatever because again, there's levels of stupid that I just stay away from. Okay, but I still just happen to hear about it. And there was a question asked to him, to Trump, about the transition of power and stuff. And it's essentially like, I think the article that I seen kind of summarized this question a little bit, but it was like, will it be a smooth transition of power? And Trump literally, apparently, just said, "We'll see."
Yeah, no, he said it multiple times.
And I'm like,
He's
What
gone on
are you gonna
record
do?
multiple times saying that he may not give up like the election, even if like it's obvious it's Biden. He may fight it in the courts, which is why they pushed to get the next Supreme
Amy
Court on
Coney
there.
Barrett.
Yeah,
Well, they put like what a non-scalable wall up for after the election, correct? But what if he just like boards himself up in the White House, like, I'm not leaving. There's no way.
I'm never leaving. I'm the best. Well, I mean, look at the
as
other
far
shit. Like,
as far as I'm concerned, reinforce the stuff that he already like boarded up. Just leave him there. Let's just forget about him.
we
They can
use
build a new White House right next door or something. I mean, just
The worst president ever monument. Well, I mean, that's the other thing. Like joking around on the opposite end of the scale, though, there's a lot on the line with this. Like,
There is.
you have women's rights on the line with Roe v. Wade potentially being taken down, which is terrifying. You have
LGBTQ rights.
yes, LGBTQ rights. You have Planned Parenthood potentially on the chopping block, which is terrifying because as much as people think that they only do abortions, they do so fucking
So much more.
much.
They're healthcare. They're practically healthcare for people that can't afford your typical private, privatized healthcare.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, they also do a lot of stuff for like contraception. Conceptives aren't just used to not have kids. Some people, it keeps them alive, and you're gonna cut off access to that.
Yeah.
You cannot claim to be the pro-life party over and over and over and over and over while also trying to strip people of the ability to live.
Don't forget though, all lives matter.
Oh my god. I know you're
I was
joking, but like,
wondering
I even
which one of
hear,
us would be the first to bring that up.
I like anytime I know when someone's saying it jokingly, I still get like minutely irately enraged because like that's not what it's about. Because we had that huge discussion about it. It's just like that's the doctor going like, oh, I've got to check your femur despite the fact that it's obviously your shoulder that's broken. Like, let me check your femur. Let me check your toes. All bones matter, sir.
Help, my boat's sinking. All boats matter.
All lives
Trump
matter
parade.
until they go against what I believe in. It's
Pretty
essentially
much.
what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
and then
it's
fuck 'em.
dumb.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like the fact that like all of them, like all of the fucking Republican senators and everyone on that fucking side of the aisle who's like, oh yeah, did you see those Trump trucks out there chasing down the bus? That is terrifying to me.
How's that right? Right? I don't know. It makes no sense to me how you can talk about being like a great bunch of people, but you're causing people to live in fear. I don't get it.
Seriously. You
It's
chase
like-
down a fucking
I've never
bus.
like it's a rare thing when you see the level of like really honestly that level of like delusion of I'm gonna call it for how I see it, which is evil.
Yeah.
And you're diluted enough to think that you're doing anyone, never mind the world or the country, a favor. Like going back to our stereotypical bad guy conversation, like
Oh my god. The amount of times like you can look at people like the talking heads, we'll call them, because I mean there's talking heads on the left and right. But like a lot of the internet talking heads of the right, who are like one of them, I think it's Tim Pool. I think that's his name. The dude with the beanie and the facial hair. One and the glasses. Can't remember. I think his name is Tim Pool. Here, I can actually look it up. Duh, I'm on the internet. Kev, what are you doing? Tim.
yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that idiot. But he was talking about like usually, the bad guys are the ones with the black mask and the black tinted windows and all that. Are the ones kidnapping people off the streets and throwing them on unmarked vehicles. But hey, they're the good guys for us. Do you not see the irony in your statement, sir? Like, do things not just go whoosh over your head? Like, how can you say that and be like, yeah, we're the good guys? What?
So I'm trying to track that, and I swear I haven't had that much yet. So I'm kind of going with it. Really is just absolutely batshit insane.
It had like it's a cult. They're fucking Trump people on like a New York bridge right now, and someone tweeted out like, "Oh, AOC better not take this way home from work." And I'm like, okay.
Excuse me? Yeah.
What?
Like at one point I was thinking about it and I was wondering what was worse. Was it like flat earthers or Trump supporters? And I'm actually
supporters.
thinking
Trump supporters.
Trump supporters
100%.
are way.
Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Flat Earthers for the
I never
most part.
actually thought that I would have like a landslide like
Comparison,
one or the other kind of this, especially when flat earthers were concerned.
The problem is
But
that like
we found one.
Trump supporters, they disregard multiple layers of science.
Yeah.
Flat Earthers, the only thing that they deny science of is that the Earth is round.
Yeah.
And in the grand scheme, that's not the most dangerous disbelief to
thing,
have. While climate change, a pandemic is happening, the fact that you can't nuke a hurricane. That
We'll just go ahead and throw
that
equal rights in.
that-
I'm pretty sure they'll
oh yeah,
try
equal
to.
rights in there. Like I was just keeping it science, but you throw the other levels of equal rights, humane practices, locking kids in cages. Like the list is exponentially worse.
Not even just that, but like separating the kids from their families too,
There's
right? What happens
500 plus
after-
kids who still don't know where their parents are.
Yeah.
How is that okay?
And the fact that they're most likely never going to be returned to their families
No,
is a scary
dude.
thing too. That's the fucked up thing.
The only way
That's the thing, like even if like even with like new administration, like it's too, some of them are too far gone.
yeah, we don't know what would have happened to some of those families in that time frame, or the fact that like during the last debate, he called people who go to their their trials for immigration, who actually show up for him, which is a higher number than he ever says it is. It's a stupidly high number that how many people actually show up to those. But he always like, oh, like only 2% show up. Only 2% show up. All that, which is horribly inaccurate. Called them, and I don't want to say this, but they're low IQ or IQ individuals.
Yes, perfect.
IT, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably would say something
We just
like
assumed that was part
Power
of your
levels are
impression.
under 9,000.
But like, shut up, you.
Thank
It's
you.
a good reference because it's backwards for P. That was all right. You know what? Fuck you. That was actually kind of good.
Cheers.
But I don't know. It's just one of those things. That's just like I can't stomach it. I've been a ball of anxiety the last week, and today is the worst.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was bad 4 years ago.
We're
but
almost a half hour into our show.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I said I would do.
Okay.
All right, and he's muting for right now because he's gonna cut him. He's cutting himself off. Okay. We'll keep talking until he gets back, and then we'll take our shot.
I'm just gonna chug my I will chug a truly.
I'll take a shot of tequila. I don't know. It's just
I got
like
a shot of tequila.
it's one of those things. It's just like I don't get it. It's just.
Well, we can only hope that the right decision is made. And if
God, I
not,
hope.
then
You mean the left
then-
decision, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you it because comedy is the only thing getting us through this tonight.
That's solid. That's a solid joke.
Yay! I'm full of one-liners. Yay!
I'm sad though. Florida looks like it might go red.
Yeah, but Texas is looking blue at the moment.
For-
Crazy.
for
If you think
now.
Texas going blue is kind of the weirdest
It's
thing.
at 56, so it could still go. There's a lot of smaller counties that haven't been counted yet, so you gotta worry about that.
Oh, a bunch of votes just came in.
Well, like what worries me is like the middle of bumfuck nowhere, right? That's essentially those that are essentially voting for Trump. No.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's when you look at the Florida map. Like, most of that is red because they're middle of nowheres. Oh my god. Why are some of those states already? Oh, because they're the.
You know what's gonna crack me up is if Trump loses the electoral college votes but wins the popular votes, people are gonna be pissed. And like it's like what happened to 2016 when this happened. to
Hillary. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like there'd be a sweet irony to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's happening right now.
If he loses the electoral college but wins the popular vote, that would be a
And the people
sweet
throw a-
irony.
Throw a bitch fit over it.
You can't win that way. Well,
Yeah.
he won that
You
way
did.
before.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm
so,
special.
so Jay's back. Give me a second to roll over here.
Are we done? Wow.
Is there anything else you want to
Just
say?
kidding.
Is there anything else? Not you. I already know you. Other two.
No. I think I'm good. I'm ready to live with whatever decision America makes.
I'm
And then
not,
hope for the
but
best.
I'm willing to, I'm hopeful. So let me pour my
Be good to
shot
each
here.
other. That's it. That's it. Just be good.
Cheers
to
to
each other.
that.
Cheers, guys.
Don't forget to love each other.
Yeah.
So far away.
Hello, tequila, my old friend.
So it's been a while since I've been here. What's new with you guys?
Oh,
Ah!
Well, we discussed this. I discussed this prior to stream, but I had to take a COVID test for the first time, which is very unpleasant.
Was it like having the back of your eyeball punched?
Yeah.
So like, I had to do
3 out of 4 of us have had it.
Steven
I
wasn't
haven't had
here for
mine
the
yet.
conversation. So like, the short story to this is a coworker thought that they were exposed.
Mhm.
I was with that coworker when they got that news, so had to go home, and I was working remotely that day anyway. But I had to go into the office for something for just a bit. Wasn't expecting to, any drama to erupt from this, but shows what I know. And had to get the test. Test came back negative, thankfully. But yeah, just the experience of getting this test.
Sucks balls.
For those of you who have had some doctor or other medical professional do this to you, my sympathies, because I got to do it to myself, and even that was bad enough.
I'd rather
But yeah.
someone do it.
You take the little, not me, man. You take the little swab, you keep going till you can't
I
go no
couldn't do
more.
it, dude. I
And the
wouldn't
worst
be able to
part
do that.
is, the worst part is you hold it there. You hold it there for 15 seconds while you're swabbing, and then you got to do the other nostril.
Oh, I only had to do one.
Yeah. You only had to do one?
Wow, you're lucky.
One
These
nostril.
people made me do both.
Yeah.
I only had to do one. But it was a drive-through.
dude.
They did this. I put my head against the back of the seat, and they went, hey.
Yeah, no. No, I had to do it myself. My eyes,
I think
my
it's
eyes
worse
started.
coming out, though.
Huh?
It's worse coming out because that's when the burn comes through, and then your eyes go.
Why didn't you?
"Ah!"
Yeah, dude, mine was watering before it even came out. Like mine was watering. But the weirdest part, man, was that. So I had already been a little congested due to allergies, which is, God.
Oh yeah.
Every time you cough or sneeze anymore, it's like, oh, you got COVID. I'm like, I've been doing this for 20 years. Like, I'm fine. I promise. Nothing has fucking changed. But so I was already a little kind of stopped up that day anyway. So I'm like, well, great, But I swab it both, and I have no idea what that test activates back here.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, my nasal cavity's just open. And I was breathing better than I had for like a couple days. I was like, hang on a damn minute. Have I been missing some kind of therapeutic, slightly torturous massage that I could have been doing? Like, is this a thing? I need one of you to be good at science and tell me if it's a thing or not.
Well, actually, do you want to know something that actually helps my allergies out a ton?
That water thing that
The
you
water
do.
thing that I do.
Well, yeah, but like, I figured that was like, because it's saline, it's like, rinsing something out.
Yeah.
But this was like a pressure thing.
No, that's
right?
fair. Yeah. But what it does is, so essentially what I have, I don't use the nettle pot because it's like, you gotta tilt it.
Yeah.
And you can't
And
really
you gotta, like, do
control.
this, you're like,
You can't really control as
Yeah.
much. I use the bottle, the squeeze bottle,
Mm.
which works. In my opinion, I prefer that because A, I control how much pressure is going in. And B, I can lean over like this over the sink and not get my face covered in the shit.
I'm just imagining the cart too, where it's going up your nose and coming out your ears, though.
I mean, sometimes it feels like that because sometimes, like, if you put it in one and like that other one is so congested, you're holding it there for a while and you're kind of like, man, no water's coming out the other side, and all of a sudden you just see, because you're just that side of your nose was so congested. But the moment
Dude,
you're
I
done
can't-
with it, holy shit! Especially if you got some good nasal spray right afterwards too. Oh my god, your nose just—you feel like,
See,
I
usually,
can breathe.
as a side note, usually that's all I need is a good nasal spray. I am unfortunately out. I
nasal.
must go get more.
Quality nasal.
Oh, but wait, I can't because I'm a mandated fucking quarantine.
spray.
I mean, I could go. I mean, I wear a
Those
mask
made
when
it
I go out
work.
anyway. It's just like, I'm waiting for a couple more days before I get a little too
Okay, can I make one reference to
succumb
something?
to my
I know I said it,
what?
but it's
What?
something that I just thought of and I just saw. You know how some people call the votes early in some states before even all of them are counted? I just thought about it
Yeah.
because like I was just going over the map because that's what I'm gonna be doing all of tonight because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
But Nebraska's at like only 13% vote reported so far. but Donald Trump has 40.9%, and they called it for him already for it, while Joe Biden's at 57.2%.
I'm looking at that right now.
What if? What if you're wrong?
Man.
One thing is that I'm not gonna get these stupid text messages or emails anymore from people.
Oh my
trying to-
God!
No more fucking ads!
I'm glad about
I'm
that.
so mad that I still have an Arizona number because it's so bad. I don't think it would have been anywhere near as bad if I lived in if my number was Washington based. But Jesus Christ, this has been the worst year for spam.
Yeah.
For today alone from Arizona, I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4,
Let me check
5,
mine.
6 text messages and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 phone calls today.
Since
I
have like 6 texts since Friday, but I've deleted a couple because they came into the wrong. They got passed because my phone has a pretty good. Pixels have pretty good spam protection. A few slip by, but they're kind of like, hey, we don't know 100% if this is spam. We want you to call it whether or not like it is by reading what's there. But my calls have been absolutely absurd, which is why I love that I have a screen on my ability. Because like when it happens, if my phone is anywhere out and I see the call because I'm like listening to music and it stops, I'm like, screen call. You better be important, bitch. And it like gets partway through. This caller is using a Google Assistant to see if this call is needed or some shit like that. Please explain why you're calling. Well, I got one where it had an audio response as well, and it's just no. And then a little bit of noise, and then hung up. And I'm like, all right then. Cool.
Dude, so I don't see. I've luckily, so that's the one farm. Somehow I've avoided it, but I haven't got spam called. I've got a couple of texts, but it's my email.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, just the ads that I keep seeing, literally in all my media, just leave me the hell alone. See, and here's the other thing: it's not even so much
YouTube, yeah.
like the
YouTube ones are the worst.
yeah, the presidential ads. I haven't seen too many of them. Don't get me wrong, I've seen them, but the ones that I hate the most. I happen to live in Kentucky, and I swear McConnell and McGrath are going to be cuss words by the time this is done.
I mean, McConnell's won apparently, so.
Oh my God, did he?
Yeah.
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, won by like 12%.
Oh!
Whatever. Kentucky gets the same old shit again, I guess.
Yep, for another however many years.
You know, till however many years or until that dude dies, one of the two. But here's the thing. Like, all life's precious and all that jazz. But I'll probably laugh if I ever read his obituary. Like, just finally. Okay, the man was in office when I was born.
Yeah, he's
When I was born. I was born in 91. The man was in office when I was born. Has that sunk in enough yet?
Yeah, I mean, 80 of the seats have already been decided for the Senate. So there's still what? I think I'm trying to do the quick math. That's like
I had added investment.
There's still 20 more seats left then, right? Yeah, because the Senate only has
Roughly
100 representatives, right?
I had added investment to watch this man lose when I saw his one ad, and he's basically making fun of McGrath. He's like, I think her entire campaign is that she's a mom, she's a Marine, and something else. I was like, I usually just skipped it, but I'm just like, you, sir, are an old dog-ridden piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, can you please just retire and save everybody some grief, please? Please? Dude, and that's the thing, man. He represents my home state, and I think there was a poll some years back that basically was like, he's the most hated guy in there. Like, among the others. Like, he's the one that everybody's like, nah, fuck that guy. And I'm like, please don't judge all of us by him, please.
Nope, we all judge you by him.
100%.
We're not with him.
Are you sure?
It's the same story when Bevan was in office. Like, dude, we don't know him. We don't know how we got here.
Oh, I'm gonna need another.
Now, unfortunately, I know how Bevan got there, and I'm assuming it's the same reason that McConnell is still in there, is because Kentucky still doesn't fucking vote.
Yeah, roughly.
Dude, the voting percentages in Kentucky are obscene. Like,
Which is sad to say, especially this year with how high the voter turnout was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
dude,
part of it is this, because we're not going to talk. This isn't us talking about the presidential race. We're just going to talk general stuff about it. The problem is, if you live in a state that leans one way, a lot of people have that self-defeated attitude about, the state's always going to be this way.
Yeah, what's the point? You know,
But-
like, it's gonna go this way.
Look at fucking Texas tonight. The fact that it's a toss-up state.
Yeah, which is crazy if you think about it.
Since when?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, for the first time in, we'll just call it 2 decades for a safe margin of time.
yeah. Like, Florida,
You know-
Florida's always a toss-up, roughly. Like, it usually leans red, but it's always...
From the
it's
state that has borne the Florida man story,
Florida,
that
yes.
state's always going to be a toss-up. I mean, come on. Come on.
That state is always the toss-up state. We all know that. But Texas being on the list of toss-ups tonight was... When I heard that, I was like, what? 2020?
This is a perfect segue. Texas and all its nonsense is a perfect segue to the wacky news story that we looked up.
About the Wisconsin? Or the Florida man?
The Florida man.
I'm about to say, you know what? The Florida man one. The Florida man one.
Okay,
that's
that's
going to be
wacky news
unexpected.
story.
No, but that's going to be unexpected.
All right, let me make sure that this is set up correctly.
It's
real quick.
about a Florida man, and those of you watching or listening would think that it's about to be a wacky news story, but it is not.
Nope. We have wackier news coming up for you today. Just stay tuned and find out.
Ah, I sneezed.
I forgot to mention this. Well, the way the election is, this is actually the first time in all my years. This is the first year that I've actually voted. So that should tell you something. So that's how crazy the last 4 years
Jim.
have been.
Come on now.
You've had to get talking to.
Shame on you.
I know.
Wait, how old are you?
87.
You're such a... Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
he said he was born 87.
Yeah.
See? I got it. I got what he did there.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah, so I'm way older than you guys, and the way the country's been, this is the first year I've been born.
Wait. I'm not the old man of the group anymore.
Didn't we go over this?
We've gone
No!
over this
That was me
before.
present! No! With them, probably. Not with
No,
me!
we've gone over it with you.
Multiple times I could have sworn. Like, this is always like a talking
This
spot.
is a
but-
talking point for you about this.
Yeah.
'Cause you're like,
I
oh
guess I
yeah,
was-
I'm not the
I
old
guess I
man.
was drunk then, too. I don't know.
Jay, this is also a moment for us to talk about your...
It's an intervention.
I don't know. I'm convinced that we have not talked about it whilst I was present. I'm not gonna need video evidence.
Well, unfortunately, that's not possible.
I'm perfectly willing to look like an ass. I just want to make sure it's proven to me.
Well, if someone has the old video file, sure, but I don't think any of us do.
Oh my
so-
god.
Yeah, luckily. So
Good luck
Yeah,
with
no,
that.
Twitch ain't DCMA'd our old mids yet.
All right,
Dude,
got it set
like-
up.
an old body.
What the fuck? Like, come on. That's another thing to talk about after we talk about this nice feel-good story, though.
It's a Florida man story.
I already hate it.
Good.
It's such a good story, though.
No, I just hope that's not the permanent sound effect.
Click
Yeah, no, it needs
play.
work. It does need work.
Florida man invents robot to insert and remove contact lenses. This story goes so horribly wrong so quickly, it's insane. Joking aside, Craig Hershoff created a robot that helps put in contact lenses, which is awesome in my opinion. Because that helps out people who don't have like maybe have Parkinson's or something like that, where their hands aren't as able to do that. Gives them that option.
I just have a question. Why not glasses?
Because not everyone.
Safer?
Well, so like, okay. To answer the whole like, why not glasses? Like, some people have professions that require them to like glasses would in fact be a danger.
Yeah.
They would in fact be a danger to them. So,
but wouldn't you
and also
prescription safety glasses as well?
Yeah, there's that, and plus, if
yeah,
you
but they're more expensive than regular glasses.
That's true. That is very true.
Like,
though, if your job, the job you work requires,
Who's gonna afford a robot that could put in contact lenses?
yeah,
No. Well, okay, whatever. You know,
I mean,
the guy never
we're
actually
trying
mentioned
to
how
have a
much this
fucking feel-good story, and then these two schmucks below me just are like,
drinking.
oh no one would ever need that.
we can't be happy tonight.
we can be happy.
This world is dark and bleak and
Jesus H fucking Christ. Man invents a thing that does a thing that's good. These two, I'm not impressed.
I can invent something better.
The precision to take out and put in a contact lens is pretty nuts if you think
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
no,
So-
it's insane.
Mhm.
Thank you for circling back to the positive technical aspects of this. Please continue.
I mean,
Yeah,
later on, in the
squishy
future,
eyeballs.
who knows what can be developed from this, what can happen, and maybe technology gets cheaper.
Exactly.
Back in the days, we had like plasma TVs that were like thousands of dollars. Now we can
Oh
afford
my-
a plasma TV for like a couple hundred. So
You can
technology
buy
is
a
always
monitor
getting
that
better.
works as your TV for like, you can buy like a decent monitor for like $100 now.
Mhm.
Dude, when freaking a discussion, like kind of a thing that I've thought about like a lot actually,
Mhm.
is so you guys remember the first console you ever gamed on, right?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay,
One that we owned or one we went to a friend's house to play on?
whichever.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
yeah,
very first one. The very first one. Okay. Now, the very first one that our kids get to play on are gonna be better potentially than what we got now.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then they're gonna look at what we have now, like we currently look at, Sega,
Nintendo.
Atari, Nintendo.
First one I played
Like-
on was a PS1 because I didn't have a console for a long time. But I went to my neighbor's house and they had a PS1. I got to watch them play Final Fantasy 7 and 8.
I can imagine Final Fantasy 7 was fucking groundbreaking back in the day, right? They're like, oh my
Right?
god, look at these graphics.
It's
And
nuts.
And then, and you just, man, you look. So, do any of you have this problem? I don't know if it's necessarily a problem, or maybe it's just my I feel like our imagination filled in a lot of the graphical gaps
Yes.
Mhm.
that were
Yeah.
present.
Remember when
back
Madden
then.
08 was the groundbreaking realism?
Madden 08, freaking. Let's take it a step further. Okay, Spyro the Dragon, right? Okay.
Oh, jeez.
You don't really notice how pixely that game is
Yeah.
until you haven't played it for close to a decade.
Or until
and
you
then
compare
see
it
again.
to the remaster that came out.
Yeah, and then you compare it to and it's like multiple times me playing the remaster, I'm like, this is a brand new game. What is
Isn't even the same game. What is this? You're
what is this? Yeah, dude, and that's what always gives me hope with remasters anymore. And then these other remasters come out and nothing fucking changed. I was like, I'm not going into that. This is not the time or the place for that discussion. I mean, it kind of is. Dev's let me do it for the past 2 weeks now, but I won't this time.
Come on. This is
I don't want to.
T-cast?
I don't want to re-reckoning. There, I said it. There, you brought me here. You made me come back here.
You brought me back to this dark place.
Yes,
Well, that's like-
I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't know. It's just like when when you look at remasters now, like it's nuts.
I got
even
scared.
just
You looked back behind you, and I thought you were like, did someone knock?
no, I was just looking at my game
I was about
collection.
to say, holy shit.
I was just looking at that, being like, I wonder. Oh, that reminds me. Looking behind me. Honestly, I looked behind me on the camera, and that's reminding me what I got recently. Hold on.
What? He's keeping you off camera. I don't like it.
So I got my Funko collection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picked up a new one because I had to. There were 3 sweet ones from this set that I really wanted, and I'm the heathen who opens these, so fuck you if you care. But Destructo Solar Flare! Why did you use your cans on? Ah!
See, you've already mentioned a 2-kill combo, which I don't know why they've never done. Solar Flare, where they're blinded, and then Destructo Disc, where they just get cut in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
never
they
done.
make that joke so much in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. There's a scene where Krillin, like when Frieza's chasing Krillin through the canyon.
Yeah. He uses solar flare,
Solar
and then you cut him in
flare!
half with your Kian gun. Tenjiro, push the go ahead. No, I did not do that.
Frieza shows up. What the fuck? To answer your question, Gohan, no. No, I did
Oh
not.
no! This is after the tail got cut off, and then he comes back and says, "I will mount your head where my tail used to be."
I just did my rewatch. I got the last 3 episodes to go.
A bridge is so good.
The bridge is great, man. Oh my god!
I did Helsing. I did Helsing abridged. Helsing Ultimate abridged, because I mean it was the season, and I was like,
bitches love cannons.
boom. I added the song, the kill song, to my workout playlist now, because just like it's got such a beat to it.
You don't have spells, I want it my way?
Get ready to
Dude,
die.
I can't even make fun of you for that, because I have that song on a playlist too. And it just like kicks off, and it's like that bar none when they unveiled that song fully, like when he's coming in on the ship. That's my favorite episode, just because of that moment. Because I'm like, if the song starts playing, and then so you watch the anime, so you know what scene it is. Like they know it's coming, and the song starts, and I was like, no, you didn't.
Well, it's so great because that song is peppered in on the beginning for so many episodes, and then just like kind of peppered in a little bit here and there, and then that scene happens, and you're like,
right, because you're like, oh man, and of course, with that Alucard, it's like it's gonna be some goofy thing or whatever, and it's like, what is it? And then all of a sudden, it kicks into the beat, and you know what it is, and you're like, oh.
you're kind of like, what else could it have been? Of course.
Yeah, really, it's like you feel dumb for thinking it could have been anything else.
The song that set the tone from the beginning. Of course. Also, I love their cover of Alexander Hamilton that they did. It's what's his name? Hamilton's name. My name is fuck, the fucking priest, motherfucker, Hamilton.
Fuck, priest.
Anderson.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Alexander Anderson. My name is Alexander Anderson. And there's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait. And it's so good. Like, and they go through the list of them. And like Alucard's like, and I'm the vampire that shot him. I'm like, that's so good.
Dude, it's
everything sold.
I love that. I love the scene. They're about to bust in on the meeting. It's like, what do you mean you've got the song? Okay, screw it. Just take my phone and hit random. No, just hit random. Ready? 3, 2. I'm a bitch.
I'm a lover.
Steven Steven hasn't watched this yet, or he's not amused. One of the two.
I have not seen Helsinger Bridge.
You have not seen
You
it?
need to see Helsinger Bridge.
I thought you were just.
Abridged.
I thought you were just fed up with our bullshit. No,
No.
It's
It's
serious.
so up your alley. It's 100% your shit.
Almost definitely, I could tell.
Oh my god.
That's your homework. It's only like 8 episodes. I think it's 8 or 9.
More homework? Why am I the only one who ever has homework from
Because
this
you
podcast?
don't watch everything that we've watched. It's rare that you've watched something that most of the group has watched, that one of us haven't, that then we need to assign homework. Also, it's got vampires. That was your shit. It was out
That's
when
true.
it was in your face.
I watched all of the Hellsing original animes.
I know,
Thank you.
which is I'm curious how you missed it.
dude.
The series started. They released one episode for like 10 years. Yeah, because they used to do it only once yearly. Like every November, they would release the
For
episode.
Abridged.
Yeah. I think it was
For
towards
abridged?
for the abridged. Yeah, for abridged Hellsing.
No, not once a year, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. No,
Hellsing,
look at the-
Hellsing Ultimate's not that old.
Yes, it is.
Ultimate.
Yes. Ultimate
pretty
Abridged
old.
is that old.
I
Fucking
feel like they
bet.
were always super busy because of Dragon Ball, right? But then they.
Well, so there was that. Oh, 2006. Well,
Where's
14-year-old anime.
like I said, I'm willing to be. Shut up. I'm willing to be. Again, we've established this. Like I'm not even the oldest anymore.
Episodes 1 through 3 came out 4 years ago.
Yeah. Like, so the first
But,
episode was released November 1st of 2010. Then November 7th of 2011. November 5th of 2012.
I cannot believe.
And then 13, 14
Oh, we're
were
talking
both
about
released on the
Ultimate
4th.
Abridged, right?
Yes, Ultimate Abridged. They would release on a yearly schedule.
Yeah. It's
Please
like,
tell me that for the last couple, they did a couple in the same year, because
Yes.
I remember.
It was
Okay.
They had
I
more time
think-
to because they stopped
yeah,
Dragon Ball maybe
was-
a year or two ago.
2008 or 18 was they did 9 and 10 November, December.
Okay.
Every other
That
one was a
makes-
year, like roughly a year difference between them, because it was 16 for
So-
episode 6. Episode 7 was also tail end of 16.
Well, so there was
8 was
also a time
17.
where
18 was the last two.
there was also a time where they put a big pause in their DBZ Abridged too.
That's when they finished it, because they
Because-
finished. I think they probably finished writing and finished towards the tail end and finished that, because that's when they had a year gap in between the start of the Gohan cell fight and the actual episode that starts the cell fight. Like when
Yeah.
Goku goes,
Well,
"I'm done."
they dubbed. They offered. They provided dubbing for a show
Yes.
mhm.
at one point, and that's why they did a special episode on their channel about it, saying like, "This is why you basically haven't seen anything from us. Sorry, but we've been busy."
Also, the fact that like they also had a cameo in Dragon Ball Z Kai. In the Boo saga, when they do the when the bobblehead people video plays of how Hercule won these cell games, almost everyone is voiced by their actual voice actor from them.
Oh man,
It's fantastic.
that's great.
Laney is 100 Vegeta. He's like, "I'm the Prince of all Saiyans," kind of thing. Like it's essentially Dragon Ball Z abridged Kai abridged. Like has one line for that fight as it could be, but with Hercule winning. Like it's great.
Well, I'm gonna be right back. I'm out of alcohol, so I'm gonna get a refill.
I was about to
Got
say, I
it.
literally just saw him down that drink.
Yeah. So, I'll be right back.
Dragon Ball Z abridged is fantastic.
It's great. Kind of sad that they stopped it, but I understand like the stress going
Well,
into it.
And
Kinda
also the
ruined
fact that
everything
like
for them.
it like really looking at it, the end of Cell Games is the perfect endpoint for their
Yeah.
version.
End
Like,
of Cell Games, perfect ending game.
Mhm.
It's perfect ending for it. If they ever wanted, I could see them potentially messing around and maybe doing some of the newer like movies, like abridging them. I don't ever
Be
see them.
hilarious. hilarious.
Yeah, I don't ever see them doing the DBS series
Yeah.
abridged.
No.
I would. Here's the thing. Them being them, I would love it if they did because I would just about guarantee they could make it hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also looking back and seeing that one's kind of harder to make funny because older cartoons are much easier to take out of context like they did.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like, I understand why stopping on the Boo Saga makes sense too, because like, I remember when I did like a rewatch like a few years ago of Dragon Ball Z, I stopped during the Boo Saga because it's so
Long.
fucking long.
Yeah.
It's very drawn out at the beginning, and then you get a spurt of action, and then it's drawn out some
sitting
more,
there
and
waiting
then a
for the
spurt of
egg to
action.
fucking hatch for 10 fucking episodes
Yeah.
of fucking Supreme Kai and Gohan going, oh, it's hatching! Ah! Cut away. Ah! Cut away. Ah! Cut away. It's just get to the fucking point, please.
Dude, I don't know how they could do it, and I'm sure some channel has tried and failed because I would have heard of them by now. But what if these guys did Naruto abridged?
Well, I don't think they're gonna do an abridged again.
They won't. They have so much in their resume now. They don't need to do it under abridged. Like they were approached for dub work. Like,
well, and the other thing too is they have their. I don't know if you guys watched the unabridged series that they started too, which is their live action series that takes place like as like essentially like an Office version of them, where they're kind of taken to 11, each one of their like kind of personalities. It's fantastic, and I think it's a great show. It sucks because like they had just started it, and then everything happened. They were filming like the 2 more of the episodes at the time that they got under lockdown, so. The first season's not even complete, and all this shit happened.
It's one of the things I really like. I'm very thankful about the hobby that I have because they're very outdoors related, and so I'm not dependent on having to go to places to like do things.
Yeah, like they couldn't, because they haven't been in their office since. Like they can't.
Yeah.
They can't do it. So.
Dude, my wife has been remote basically since the beginning of it. Since the beginning of all of this. Versus, at minimum, I've been in the office once a week. Like, now I'm in the office way more times a week.
Yeah.
Or at least, I was. I'm still a little annoyed about. Like, on the one hand, it's like I'm thrilled to not have to go on site until the 11th, but on the other hand, I'm like, this is actually kind of fucking dumb. Because I'm walking into a shit show when I get back.
Yeah.
I am 100% walking into a shit show when I get back.
Here's the ashes, put it back into a building.
Yeah, right? I very well could be having a shit show now because basically one of the things we're doing is we're moving domains. So basically the entire network's going on this whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one of our serverland guys call me today and was like, hey, I need you to check to see if your admin credentials still work. I'm like, why wouldn't they? It's like because of the admin stuff, because of the domain switch and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, come to think of it, that does make sense. Could this be a problem for me? And he's like, nah, it should be fine for now. We're kind of catching it. But apparently several people had already lost their admin access, which is like, 50% of the reason we can do our jobs.
Yeah.
So that's like, if not more than 50% of us doing our jobs. Everything on one domain, though, is going to make things way easier because right now we're operating on 2.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason. No one can tell me why we're on 2. We're just on 2.
This is why we started, and we're just haven't made the change. There's no switch.
See, and I'm looking, and again, I tried to hear the origin stories of the facilities that I work at, and the general gist is, yeah, no, it was kind of starting on 2 could have been avoided.
Yeah. But we just
I
decided
think-
it was better for whatever fucking reason.
We decided we just need this half to work for this thing, so we can just make a whole other domain for that. So your Windows login and your email are not the same thing, even though they could be.
That makes them
Yeah.
that really.
Oh,
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
I'm already gonna need a third bourbon. Don't make me have to have a fourth.
Why not fifth?
This is one of those nights I wish I could get high.
No, give me a moment. I'll be
It probably would help.
Oh, I just don't have the money for edibles tonight. So, like, fuck.
It would help with tonight's
At least you're-
party, that's for sure.
At least you're responsible.
Hey,
you that much.
like honestly, I normally wouldn't even be drinking on a Tuesday if I had work on Wednesday like I do.
Mhm.
But A, it's a certain night, and B, I don't work
certain day.
until 12. So
And you got that going for you, so that's fine.
yeah.
Oh.
I got that.
So there's no segue and no warning to this at all. But Steven,
Yes.
I propose something that could be some funny content and a competition between friends.
Okay.
Oh god, here we go.
Yeah, I warned Dev about this last week, and I was going to challenge you last week, but you weren't on.
Mhm.
I challenge you to a Photoshop competition.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
Okay.
Like, we'll discuss subject matter and all this other stuff. And so I have. Do you own a drawing? Do you own a pad, like a drawing pad?
I don't have a drawing
Does
pad, but I
he?
have a notebook right next to me.
No. Well, so like, talking like, so like I use.
No.
You don't own that? Okay.
No.
So even tools, I won't use that.
Okay.
I'll do mouse and keyboard like you would have to.
Okay.
Photoshop
we'll do
me
something-
and Jim hanging out playing Rock Band.
We'll discuss subject matter and all this other stuff like later on. But that's
Do
the
you think it'd be
challenge.
fun?
We'll have.
All right, now I have 2 homework assignments. Fuck.
We're not working on anything yet.
I thought it
This
was
is
out
a
of
future
school.
assignment.
Exactly.
This is like your quarterly essay.
But yeah, we can each like record our process and
Mhm.
do, because like I want my hope is to have members of HarHar, so Dev, Jim, whoever else is available, they collectively decide what subject matter we work with,
Okay.
and that we don't know, and then that's one of the things that we record is our reaction to whatever bullshit that they give us to work with.
It'd be some. I feel like that'd be a great YouTube video.
That's
Yeah.
actually a pretty solid YouTube video, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun. Like we wouldn't be the first to do Photoshop battles,
Mhm.
but
I'll be
I think-
honest. I am awful at art, so.
well, so here's the thing. So it could be like editing like pre-existing photos. Like, I'm not talking about like drawing like ground up drawings. Just we use Photoshop with whatever we're given. So it's like, yeah, no, because I don't do the whole graphical arts design stuff either. Like I've
Are we gonna
dabbled in
have
it a little bit, but
Will we
Mhm.
have to use the same materials, like the same pictures?
so let's say that they give us a picture of whatever or multiple pictures, then we would have to incorporate those pictures in the thing, and then we could use whatever stocks and stuff we want to like make it our own.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we would have to incorporate at least some of what we're given into
That's
whatever we make.
I like it. Speaking of content, can I switch gears a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of content, I like you guys should check out the Discord for the messages that I sent last night.
Yeah, you sent late in the middle of the night that I accidentally swiped away. I'm like, that was probably important. 'Cause I was
Not
half
really.
asleep.
It wasn't. Was it? Like I have this problem lately where it'll be like 11 o'clock at night and I'm tired, but not tired enough to fall asleep. So I sit here at my computer listening to things that'll like put me to sleep, and then I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do to entertain myself while I'm just sitting here? And so last night I sat there writing up 2 brief synopsi of possible campaigns.
Where did you put it?
in the D&D 5 Footsteps.
That's not the
Chat.
name. We're moving on from that name.
I know, but that's just the one I put it in.
It's literally called 5 Footstep D&D in the thing, though.
Yep.
Listen, I'm not even trying to troll. Not trying hard
I
to
know,
troll.
but we're
That's
just
what it's called.
moving. I know that's what it's called in there. We're moving on from that because people attached to it left it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Also, LaBelle, thank you for the 10 biddies.
Absolutely.
Steven, apparently you're 15 years
It's
old.
the 3 adults and the 15-year-old.
I think Jim is a 15-year-old, if I'm being honest, but
I'm about to say, I'm curious as to who this is referencing.
It's me. I know it. It's always
It's-
fucking,
That's it. I feel I'm the least 15-year-old here. Thank you.
it's always fucking me.
I would have been a closer second if I didn't just go down to the goatee again.
Oh, I clicked it.
Oh.
The oldest man
Hey,
is a 15-year-old.
listen, That's
That's
good.
actually
That
not a
means
bad
you're
thing.
like
I'm glad.
you've got the youngest features. All right.
Go
Well,
ahead.
that is weirdly accurate.
You're about 1 year off, but
We put Oh, wow.
I feel attacked. I feel called out.
Almost like he,
But it's
almost like
honest,
he kind-
and it's
almost like he
accurate,
kind of is.
and I hate it. No, I didn't just spend like half an hour talking about Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Fuck it. No, I didn't just buy a Krillin Funko. Which he's cutting out Doctor Strange. Sorry, Steven.
oh, it's okay.
No. Which I love the little, like, the front of this. You got Captain Marvel, Captain America, Strange right there. Krillin, All Might, Deku, part of the Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty and,
Oh, that's
wrong.
funny. Oh, I wish.
Hello Kitty, My Hero crossover.
Oh,
And then Han and Leia.
oh man. Stevenson's good though. I'm scared of what mine's gonna be.
I don't know. Probably a dad.
Probably the cool uncle.
I'm cool with both of those. I'd be cool with either of them. Star tells me all the time, it's like, you're such a freaking dad. Because I do dad jokes are my favorite thing. I love dad jokes. I love them.
Are you sure she's not dropping signals at you?
Reasonably. Because she's
It looks
very
like
on
you're-
point with her voice control. So
Taylor
yeah.
just looks like your everyday dad that just walked into a room, random talk show, who's just confused about where he is. And only came for the beer. You know, weirdly accurate most times. He's got bourbon this time, but a
actually-
lot of the
Got
time,
bourbon.
it's
Yeah,
beer.
but most of the time, if I'm on this show, it's some kind of. Most of the time, it's bourbon. Actually,
You've had beer on here a lot, though.
I have had beer. Yeah.
It used to be your
'Cause I
go-to
ran
on
out
the
of bourbon.
show.
Huh?
It used to be the go-to, I feel like, on the show.
Beer used to be.
Yeah.
Nah. Like 9 times out of 10, it was hard liquor. Like,
Maybe.
because I remember, I'll never forget. I think I'm actually the one who said it. It's like I was talking to you. I think it was pre-show. It may have been live. I don't remember. Because it's been a long time ago, smart ass. Before you even go there, I heard you chuckling. But it's like, dude, I think I've honestly been drunk on the show more times than I've not been. The average has evened out since then. But at the time, it was like,
Because you just
oh,
haven't been on the show as often. So,
oh my god. This is my 3rd week in a row, though.
congrats. I was trying to throw a burn and no reaction happened. Maybe.
But no,
Good.
I caught the burn. I'm just was not acknowledging it.
Perfect. That makes me feel defeated. My bullying ways have been defeated. No.
Not like this.
Pop,
And see, you say that, but then you do shit like that, and you're just building up more stuff. And
I'm just scheming at all times.
Yeah, see, yeah, you relish in defeat and rejection, I think.
He's like, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Defeat and rejection is my whole life. You're not wrong.
Oh, this is not the turn I wanted that to take, actually.
Well, it could turn.
And we
to
are
be-
good,
It could
since
be
no one else is
turned-
acknowledging chat.
Yeah, good.
What?
We are
As good
good.
as we can be, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of tonight, so far.
Speaking of
We're good
things
so
that
far.
aren't good, though, don't
Ruh-roh.
drive with a snowmobile atop your car, because
Is it?
that might just create a
Wacky
news story.
A little off sync on that one.
Yeah, it's been a while
Always
since I
is.
pushed the buttons. Give me one more time.
Try again. Try again.
Wacky news story.
The
little
first one
better.
cut out. Try one more time. Nope, one more time.
One more time. One more time. One more time.
One more time.
Wacky
news
story.
That was the worst one.
That was worse.
Wacky news story.
Mm,
Wacky
Move on!
No,
Oh my god.
news story. Wacky
I'm so sorry, Kat.
news
I'm so sorry.
Story.
Story.
Now it's just cutting out. Yeah.
Story.
That's because I hit them all at the same time.
Wacky, story.
Well, because it'll be wacky like all at the same time if I hit them all at the same time, and then it'll go news, story. Because I have it timed out is that it goes wacky, news, story.
So silly.
Wacky
news
story.
Fuck!
Yeah, okay. Can we get to the goddamn story?
Alright.
Story.
Alright, Wisconsin
Sounds like-
trooper stops driver
Sounds
hauling
like if-
snowmobile atop car, whatever.
Sounds like if Dev would ever be on crack. Wacky.
Wacky.
story. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done for now. Oh god.
Oh,
I'm in front of the stream. Everyone's gone.
Wacky.
Listen, it's harder than you think!
Oh, I'm sure it is.
you know, it'd be easier if you all just put it on one WAV file.
That's harder to do! Because I don't have an audio thing to set up where I can do that!
You don't own Audacity?
I don't know how to
free
fucking
program?
work Audacity well, alright? I ain't you.
All right, fine. I was about to say we're gonna have the Photoshop battle, and I'm gonna lose miserably.
I fucking hope so.
Okay, here's the
Shit
thing.
talker.
I'm the one who threw down because I'm the one who was like, "Oh, this will be such a fun, great idea," and I think I can win. This is all that's going through my head, and I was like, "I'm gonna get my fucking ass kicked." This is what's
Probably
gonna
not.
happen.
So yes, YouTube's a thing, but they don't have my voice doing that. And I'm not gonna upload a video, just me doing that to put it on one file. I have too much other shit to do. I have better things to do with my
2 hours
life.
later.
2 hours later.
I hate it here.
Wacky.
All right, Wisconsin trooper stops driver hauling snowmobile top car. 23-year-old driver was issued a warning about the hauling technique and cited for failing to buckle up.
Oh my god, it's sideways.
I mean,
I'm like, in my head, here's the thing, like it already sounds like a dumb idea, right? But in my head, I'm thinking they at least did it kind of logically, and it was, aligned with the
No.
car. And I'm looking at this.
I like
I
this,
think you have
though.
to ask yourself, how did they get there?
Folks, don't try this at home. Our state patrol
Yeah,
friends
really, honestly, how
stopped
did
this
they get
vehicle
there?
Sunday on US 63 in Polk County because this isn't a safe way to transport a snowmobile. If you're transporting equipment this winter, you are advised to safely haul it secured on a trailer or in a truck.
But what if I don't own a trailer or a
Dude,
truck?
look at that car, man. Like that's like,
Corolla.
dude, level is
Okay,
like
that's a tiny ass
not holding
Corolla.
back.
It kind of reminds me of when I bought equipment or bought like tables from a Goodwill, and they didn't fit in my car, so I had to roll the windows down so it fit in the car.
But at least it's in the car.
Yeah, that's true. It was
Never mind
like
part of it
90%
sticking
the
out.
car.
It's in the car. This thing is sticking out and not in the car, and probably is resting on something that really shouldn't be holding that weight. 'cause
Also,
that's, like,
it's not like the legs of the table are sticking out like this.
yeah,
I
like
don't know.
Like they're probably more sticking out like this.
not only that, but again, if you're gonna do something dumb, at least think about it and think of the aerodynamics of this situation, because
If you're gonna do something dumb, be less dumb.
Yeah.
yeah, if you're gonna do something dumb, think about it first. Not the
Hold
craziest
my
thing the cops
beer.
have found.
I gotta do
True,
math.
it is not the craziest thing the cops have found.
But it is.
But I mean, how
kinda
often?
wacky.
How often do you see that? I mean, come on.
I'll be honest, I love this story. I just have so many different thoughts. Like, what did
But
they
it
do?
is
Did they
kinda
build a
wacky.
giant
Yeah.
snow ramp? To put
I
it
am
on top
kind of
the car?
curious.
To the top of the car.
I'm kind of curious as to how they
It's
got it
kinda
there.
wacky.
That begs the question.
Are you trying to segue out of the segment?
No, I'm just wishing someone would acknowledge my fucking joke because I had a great line.
Nope.
That Jay
What
was
is it? I
like,
didn't hear.
it's
It's
kind of weird.
pretty
It's,
wacky.
it's not the weirdest thing they found. And I was like, but it is pretty wacky. But I said it loud. I was like, it's pretty wacky. But then you kept talking. Completely
Well, I
ignoring
thought
me.
you were just kind of just no, I heard that, but I thought you were just kind of just adding it in, like, hey, I didn't realize
Usually
you wanted
guys
acknowledgement.
say something.
I didn't realize you wanted it.
Oh, I'm not drunk enough
so-
yet. Hang on.
Are you all right, so there's that. Then I went my wacky. It's a wacky tweet. And it's wacky not so much for the actual thing that happened. I put it in our chat. But large boulder, the size of a small boulder, is completely blocking eastbound lane highway 145 MM78 at Silver Pick Road.
Large
No,
boulder
no.
the size of a small boulder?
Yeah, you caught it, right? Like, large boulder the size of a small boulder.
Then why is it a large boulder? Oh, damn
Large
it.
boulder the size of a small boulder. Completely blocking eastbound lane. So yeah, there's this boulder. I mean, it's a boulder. It's in terms of boulder, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a large boulder, but that's a nice boulder.
It's not a boulder. It's a rock.
Rock.
It's a rock.
We're nerds.
It's just childhood creeping in. Don't worry. And the worst part is kids nowadays probably don't know that reference.
Probably not.
And it's the show they watch. God damn it.
Which is very sad. Yeah, then they have all these new seasons of it now, and it somehow got dumber.
How is it? Well, I shouldn't ask how it's like lasting so long. There's been worse, but
The Simpsons.
Great. Now the stupid song stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm probably gonna.
Oh, guys, now we're gonna get in trouble with DCMA.
That we are.
yep.
Damn you,
I
Fox.
sort of
No,
gone
it's
if
Disney
my
now.
singing gets us a DMCA.
It would on YouTube, actually. There are sometimes you could literally sing like 4 seconds of a song, and then some independent artist will be like, "That's my song," and you're not even singing their song.
Well, the other thing
But yeah,
too is
but like a
you're
lot
allowed
of
to
those claims will
also you're
you know,
allowed to
you
use
can
7
tell it-
seconds
6 seconds.
out of 7.
I was told 6 in school. It could be 7. I mean, who knows?
How about that? Are you trying to troll or are you being serious?
I think it's. I'm serious. I thought it was 6 seconds for fair use.
I thought it was 7.
South Park still going? Is it? Yeah, I think it is.
No, they just start. They're doing a special.
I need to see the pandemic special. Oh,
That's another, honestly, like between the podcast vote. Take a second and pick a choice.
Sure.
Simpsons or South Park? Which honestly should end? Like which has had a long enough run that you were just like you wouldn't be sad to see it have its last episode.
Why not both?
Why not both? Because we should only make half the people mad right now. So like,
it kind of sucks to say. Like, I love South Park, but I probably would be less upset if South Park ended. Because
really?
South Park has had a lot of great seasons, and it does need to become worse.
Well, can I argue something else about South Park? As good
Sure.
as it has done, it has created a nihilistic ideal for the world that, like, no matter what, it's always going to be shit. That is seeped into just, like, everything. And, like, a lot of how people comment about shit, you can almost trace back to South Park.
No, yeah,
On a stick or a douche nozzle, right? It was one or the other.
Yeah. There was literally an episode in some of the later seasons where the crew of the South Park gang discussed, like, are we the problem? Are we the reason Trump got elected?
And they say no.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and I wouldn't necessarily say they were the fault. No. There's a lot of other shit that happened in 2016.
That was my favorite season of South Park, too, was the year that they tried to predict who would win between Hillary and Trump, and then based the storyline off of it.
The problem was because, like, I don't think any of those would have affected how the election went. The big thing that affected that election was Comey coming out 2 weeks before election with, hey, we're reopening a case about the emails. When it was another nothing burger. That's what changed that. So, I don't think they're at fault, but I think they're partially at fault for the nihilistic view people have on the world.
I mean, what's funny is that this is a lot deeper of a conversation than I imagined it going. And honestly, based on that response, my vote, honestly, even though I'm the one that posed the question, was still kind of up in the air. It's kind of waiting to see what you go. Yeah, my vote's South Park now too, because of.
Like, don't get me wrong,
If I had
love
to choose
South
one,
Park.
I'd pick South Park as well. But if I can choose both, I'd choose both because
My
Simpsons
favorite
needs to
episode of
fucking
South
end.
Park to date, and really honestly, the only one I ever really go back and rewatch, is the World of Warcraft episode.
Yes, that is the episode.
It's the only one I ever go back and watch anymore.
I have a guilty pleasure with, like, a season 3 episode that's called Merry Christmas, Charles Manson. And the gang goes to, like, Washington and they meet the Cartman family, like all of his extended family, and they all look exactly like him. And then they meet Charles Manson, and somehow throughout the end of the episode, he makes a swastika into a smiley face. It's like the older episodes of South Park are definitely stranger. Like, they're definitely not meta commentary, but I freaking think they're hilarious.
Well, I mean, look at earlier episodes of Simpsons and Family Guy. They're a different beast than what they are now.
Oh my gosh, especially
3
early
seasons
episodes
were
of
around
Family
Bart.
Guy. Oh my god.
Well, look at Family Guy now. Try watching a Family Guy episode today.
I have.
They're
I
bad.
actually haven't.
Yeah.
The new episodes are just bad.
Yeah, they're raunchy, man.
Well, and they're not
Dude,
even
like,
raunchy in a funny way. They're just bad.
No, they're just.
Try to go for shock value, and that's it.
Yeah, they're bad for the sake of being bad, honestly. I mean,
But
that's
also
just
look
kinda
at it like this too. The older episodes had plots that actually existed in the episode and gave to the episode. Like, I don't know, it's just like that show changed so much.
Yeah, it was definitely.
And I think, you want to know what the pin drop for that show was? For when that show officially changed past the point of no return, in my opinion? Cleveland left. When Cleveland left, the show officially changed entirely. They had to find what the dynamic would be.
Didn't he like move back though?
Yeah, after the
Yes.
Cleveland show was canceled, yes.
Yeah.
And no one picked it up, yeah. Yeah.
I still remember when Cleveland, or not Cleveland, what's his name died, and then someone got a tattoo. And then
Brian?
Yeah, Brian died, and then I got a tattoo that said "Rest in peace."
And then like 3 episodes later, he came back.
They brought Brian back.
It was all for shock value to get people back.
That's
to
exactly what
watching
it was. They're like, people think Family Guy is just a show that takes it safe, and we're gonna prove them wrong. So we're gonna kill off a main character, and then bring him back because we need him for the comedy.
Brian's not even that funny anymore.
But he's funny with
not.
Stewie.
But they're not anymore. Like Stewie's
they're
and
really
Brian's dynamic used to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Stewie used to be a commentary on like being brought up in this world, and like Brian was the commentary of like, because like the show airs on Fox, so it does have some leaning bias. Obviously, so they can't like, despite Seth MacFarlane.
Brian always just sounded like Fox News on repeat.
No, he was more late night
The Al Gore
NBC.
episode.
He was late night NBC because like there was the episode where him and where like there's so many episodes of him commenting about how horrible like Fox and stuff like that is. But like after a certain point, Brian became the stereotypical liberal and not like a commentary on like being liberal without taking action on a lot of stuff. Being liberal from the viewpoint, if that makes sense, without actually acting on it. There used to be commentary to it that you could dissect a little bit too, to the writing. Instead
you
of
can say
Brian's
that about
just a
anything.
liberal. Oh, true.
You could really say that about any show, but I agree with you in this case.
Like, same with The Simpsons. Same with like, I would say it's almost the opposite with South Park, for better or worse.
South Park, like I still keep in the track of these things. Like Family Guy, one of the big problems that I have with Family Guy is like Peter Griffin went from being just this middle-aged, middle-class man to literally being mentally handicapped.
Like a bowling idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have him diagnosed with different mental illnesses later on in the show. And like it just changes the whole dynamic of the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
And they constantly do that with other shows too. Like with South Park right now, they're debating changing the focus of the show away from the kids to the parents. Because apparently the creators of South Park find the stories of basically like Randy and his like cooking episode with Creme Fraiche a couple years ago. Like those are the shows that they find themselves enjoying more because, you know, that's just the age that the creators are at.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people like thinking about how the dynamics of the shows will change, if they're going to change at all, like how South Park might change towards away from the kids and more towards the adults. And yeah, Jay found something.
So so I was kind of just absentmindedly scrolling through Twitter just to kind of see what the vibe was like.
Oh, it's a mess.
I found a meme though that kind of describes it perfectly. Said today feels like the whole country is waiting for an STD test result.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man.
I saw someone else say, I saw Greg Miller actually say, let me scroll back down to it just to make sure that I quote it correctly. Where are you, Greg Miller? That long ago. It is today, though, so it might be way further down because everyone's posting. Well, let me look up Greg Miller. Greg Miller. There he is. Tonight's dinner has a real last meal in the science movie vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I ordered 6 fucking things at McDonald's because I'm fucking stress eating.
Oh, I wish I had McDonald's nearby. Never mind my amazing steak. I want McDonald's.
I'm out of my food, so McDonald's actually sounds kind of nice.
Dude, I hate to say it, but McDonald's is probably one of my favorite fast food chains. Like, they're the least original fast food chain out there, but at least they're consistently tasty.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I just like me some McDonald's.
Stephen Amell just had posted, says CNN's election coverage being presented by the Calm app might be the funniest thing that has ever happened. Oh my gosh. Dude.
Hey,
Whew.
Jim.
Yes.
How many followers do you have on Twitter?
I'm exiting off of that.
That's a good question. Let me check.
Quite a few. Last time I looked.
Yeah, we're all,
3,801.
Hey,
Yeah.
you can retweet this then. Hold on, let me get this up here.
Oh,
Lord.
you're being volunteered to retweet something from your boss.
I'm not his boss. Fuck off. This is voluntary if he wants to, but I find it funny, so I'm gonna bring it
Do I
up.
have homework?
Yes, this is your homework, child. Like,
Technically, this is an in-class assignment because you can do it before the podcast is over.
That's very true.
where is this?
Which
at?
Steven
Why
would
isn't
kill
it
for.
capturing?
I hate homework.
Oh,
I hate
shut up.
school.
I've been out of school for like nearly 13 years and I'm going back to it.
Oh, here it is. You can retweet this tweet.
What is this tweet?
I'm afraid. But okay.
Retweet if you have
you-
more followers than the amount of votes Kanye got.
Oh wait,
You-
how many
you-
votes? How
Look at
many
this.
votes
Look
did
at the
he-
stream. Look at the stream. Look at the stream.
I'm looking at the stream.
450. Oh my god.
You could retweet this and have a large margin of error.
Oh god.
No.
Yes, I'm retweeting this. Give it to me. I need to retweet this.
All right.
Do,
Alright.
do
Damn.
you? I would like us to take a trip down memory lane to, like, I'll be honest with you, like I don't keep up with all the drama and stuff, happened back then. Don't really. I do a little more now for obvious reasons, but 2016 coming to a close.
Mhm.
And you're watching the ball drop, and they did this recap of things, and then it panned over to Kanye. It said, I think he did it at 2016. He might have done it a couple years after. I don't remember when, but he made that announcement, and it was like huge for like a day. And you never heard anything else about it. I'll be honest, I forgot he did that whole little dramatic announcement until I saw his name on the ballot.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't even got on the
Like-
ballot in most places, so.
Nope, he didn't, and which speaks kind of interestingly of Kentucky because he made it onto the ballot.
I'm not going to get into why I think he got on the ballot there, because that's a whole nother discussion for a different day. We'll discuss that after tonight. And off stream, because that's not something that, like, I am a professional to be able to talk about. But I have my theories, so.
Oh, jeez.
And Kanye West.
Ah, damn it, I thought you would have retweeted it with a comment.
Nah, there's no way that you could make it better. Like, what else am I gonna
You could have brought up that this was my homework assignment from the podcast.
add an
and then I could
entertainment?
and then I could put a gift below A+.
Can I get extra credit for this, please?
Dude,
Oh shit. Oh. 2020 over yet?
Give it another 2 months, then yeah.
let's say we're getting there.
This year went by really quickly. Even
But
though it didn't
at
feel
the
like it, but
same time.
at the
I
same-
hate
Dude, I'm
it.
sorry.
I
No, it
hate
has not. It has not. It has not went by very quickly.
But it has, cause like
Nope.
Well, like this,
Not-
this is how
Not to me, it hasn't.
no,
the last
okay.
time we
I'm
were
gonna
all together. was the start of COVID. At least as far as I remember, where
With all four of us in a stream?
Yeah.
Because it's been sporadically 3 of us a lot. Like, it's been me, Jay,
Near
Steven.
March or April. Yeah.
I want to
Like-
say it was probably April, honestly.
Probably the last time we had all 4 of us on the show. Yeah.
No idea.
We were still talking about the same shit. It was like
Yeah.
work,
You're welcome.
and something else.
You're welcome, Jay. Someone saw my
I
message.
saw it. I'm not going to share
Oh
it.
man, it's great. We need memes of Trump wins, memes of Biden wins, Civil War memes, how to survive a civil war. Oh my god.
Perfect.
I did see someone bring, like, not to get serious about the topic for a second, but I did see someone bring up that it, like, that for some people, the fear of a civil war is huge for them because, like, for their ancestors, that's how they got out of slavery and stuff. So, like, the fact that, like, there's even the fear that something similar could happen.
The fact that it's somewhat valid in people's heads anymore is like,
Yeah, it's terrifying. I hate it. I hate
it's
it
a little
here.
crazy, man. It's more than a little crazy. Yeah.
We just gotta remember, like, even though it's been quite a bit of time, it hasn't been, and the civil rights movement hasn't been, or it's still fairly recent, right? That's almost like what?
In the grand scheme of things, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So it's not like it's too far back in history. It's still pretty fresh. So for things to be kind of like reopened and like the wound to be like slightly getting cut back open is the crazy thing if you think about it.
Yeah.
Just saw a meme that looks like shows a stucco ceiling
Mhm.
with all the little bumps and whatever, and it says, "If your ceiling looks like this, don't worry about Biden's tax plan." Everyone's looking up like, oh,
Well, I don't know. If you look at mine, I got panels.
hey, look at that.
Wow.
I got panels of stucco ceiling. Also, first time I think this fucker has ever made it on the stream for the podcast. My Dark Soul statue
Mm.
and the Hulk mask that I wore on a couple of podcasts before.
So I say, I think this is the first time we've seen your ceiling, actually.
It might be.
I think so.
For a half second, I thought he was calling the ceiling the fucker. Like, I didn't know what he was, I didn't know what he was talking about for a half second.
Get off my ceiling!
Like, what do you want? It keeps the rain off you. Like, what do you want?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, man.
People inside, maybe.
No, 2021, pretty soon. Couple more months. Well, a couple months. So we'll see how things go. It's kind of.
I wonder what life is going to be like for these next months.
I'm scared.
Well, that Ant-Man meme, right? The whole thing where he lists off everything. He's like, oh yeah, and that was just the first quarter of 2020. Let me go on.
Or god damn, there's so many of those. Like, the fact that this year on the podcast, like when we started the podcast, we did a quick recap of the first 3 months, and we brought up that there was the potential war in Iran at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Like, World War III almost happened this year. Man.
Crazy. It's crazy to think about it.
Oh, what's this meme we have here?
It's just the whole thing where like he asks how did how's 2020, and then he just lists off everything, and he's like, oh yeah,
I do love that meme. Like the 30-page long.
yeah.
Happened, and this happened, and then this happened.
Dude, I mean, let's be real. Like you notice how when anyone talks about anything that happens in 2020 so far, you know, the biggest chunk of it is COVID.
Yeah.
But do you notice how, like, not usually in conversation, the list isn't too extensive?
Ooh.
Because dude, at
Ooh.
some point, you just can't stand all the bad news anymore. Like there has to
Well,
be.
it's because your brain has to legitimately kick some of it out.
Mhm.
Because like the list from this year, because you can go over it in a bit, but like if you're just remembering what bad has happened like it's usually recent stuff. But like if you go through the list, we had Australian fires, we had war with Iran almost, we had
Into World
COVID
War
start,
III.
Rainforest
ha-
fires.
Yeah,
rainforest fires, we had California fires,
Yep.
we had like the West Coast was on fire.
Numerous celebrity deaths that like
Oh my
We're
god,
kinda
the
like-
list
yeah.
of that is
Doug Connery
scary
gets
long.
added to that list now.
Ugh. You've got the being in the US and seeing the rest of the world have some form of normalcy.
Mhm.
You've got like the fact that like so many people have gotten sick. You have like everyone getting depression. I shared a meme earlier today of like, I can pull it up real quick. I can read it off, and I felt attacked. I was like, "Fuck you, this is too accurate." It was, what do you do? What do you get when you mix COVID anxiety, seasonal depression, cuffing season, good old-fashioned regular depression, and election stress? Then take away 1 hour of sunlight. Bitch, we're about to find out.
It's funny because it's true.
Like, I hadn't even realized the list of things that cause people depression was happening all in one moment. I'm like, oh yeah. No wonder I'm not 100% right now. Oof.
Crazy.
This world.
All right. We've been live for almost 2 hours. We need to find something fun to talk about and then end this damn thing for this. Before
I'm
we
gonna play
spiral back
Minecraft
down.
tonight.
What?
Huh?
Maybe. We'll see what I play tonight. I might play Minecraft
Did you
tonight.
gonna stream Minecraft?
Maybe. Jim, do you have Minecraft?
I don't.
Boo.
Yeah,
You should
sorry,
join our
guys.
server.
He needs to have
Great
Minecraft first, though.
server.
What?
I still need to actually own Minecraft. Is it?
That's
You should
He
join
wants
our
to own
server.
Just own it, Dev.
I'm still grumpy about. I built a guardian, or I'm building a guardian farm in Minecraft, where I've beaten the Elder Guardians. I've leveled the entire monument. I've started building the structure work, and then I fucking messed up and didn't do my fence posts right. And now it's gonna take me for fucking ever to clear out all the water I did on top of the fence posts, and then get rid of the fence posts, and then redo it all.
No, I keep seeing you eat a McChicken, and I'm like, I want a fucking
McDonald's.
McChicken.
Yeah, I know.
I need a McHeart attack.
This asshole.
Need a COVID chicken.
COVID chicken, Teddy.
I love chickens, Eddie.
COVID bird flu 2021.
Dude, why not? We got everything else. Let's throw bird flu back in. Why
Well,
not?
I mean, like talking about that, like me and Steven watching World War Z this weekend was really eerie. Like,
Dude. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like we seeing them. Some people are just disregarding it, and we're like, oh,
You know,
Every movie that
Looking
has
back.
an infection is that way.
like, I remember back towards the start of it was like kind of in the middle of COVID lockdown,
Mhm.
and I was like, what should I stream? I was like, oh, you know what I kind of want to stream? I kind of want to stream Days Gone.
Fuck yeah.
And then I thought about it. And I'm like, this seems like it would be in poor taste.
fuck it. Who cares? Me and Steven watched 28 Days Later.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I chose, but it's like I look back on it and man, I think there's a lot of video games that I own that I play kind of regularly that have some kind of disease theme in it. And I'm like, this ain't good. I don't like this.
But hey, at least the games are fun.
At least there's no zombies right now. in real life.
Can you imagine if that's how we cap off 2020? It just fucking happened.
With zombies.
Zombie outbreak.
Yeah.
You know, there's the memes floating around that said 2020 is going to end one of these ways, and it had a UFO, it had Godzilla, it had zombies, and it had something else.
Well, we've had
Probably meteor.
the government
Why not all
has-
the above?
Right. Like a UFO has been
UFOs are
known, right,
confirmed.
yeah, by our own U.S. government, they've unclassified those documents, which is kind of crazy.
We just don't know what this is, guys.
I swear to God, if a kaiju comes out of the ocean, I'm gonna be upset.
Oh.
my God, it's fucking good. Godzilla! Can I get an autograph?
There's a video coming around, and it's like it's called the forest breathing effect. Y'all ever seen this? So it's
yeah.
like if you have a lot of wind, and if you have trees that have roots that are in dirt that isn't packed down fully, if you're looking at the dirt, it looks like it's breathing when the trees are rocking because the roots are piling up and then it's coming down. So it looks like the whole forest is kind of breathing. And it's like, now, they're the guys narrating videos. And now, if you look at this and you're thinking this is some giant monster sweeping out of the earth, sadly, you would be wrong. And I'm like, no, I think that's a pretty good thing. You really don't know what else has happened here. So,
Yeah.
So speaking of giant monsters, have you guys seen the newest Mandalorian season yet? Episode 1?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to. I'm waiting, but I feel like I should just watch it.
you probably should, just to avoid the spoilers.
And so you
Because
can
there's
talk to
one in particular.
us!
There's one in particular that you definitely don't want ruined for you.
How many episodes in are there?
I think they're about to release episode 2.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
say
it's
they're
Friday.
close to releasing 2.
Oh, Friday, that's right, because last week was the first episode.
Yes.
Okay, maybe-
Friday release schedules are the worst.
Because
I
they
need
come out
something like
Thursday
this in the-
night, technically.
I need something like this in the middle of my week so that way I have a pick-me-up to carry me through the rest of the week.
It's a pick me up for me because
Also-
it's middle of my week, so I'm gonna take it. Sorry. You can have other shows.
I don't have anything else.
This is like Fight Club. You can have this on this day, and you can have this cancer place on this day.
If I think about it, like none of the stuff I've been watching has been like really good, like pick me ups, because I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries and then some kind of like murder documentary or like unsolved crime documentary. So I don't have any pick me ups unless like I queue up a movie or something, I think.
Well, hell, if you want to just keep up with that vibe, the Not So Great Outdoors podcast. I'll shamelessly plug my wife's podcast while I'm here.
Does she want to
Just
hold
put
it
the
on
link.
the HarHar
I already
podcast?
made the joke. That
Um,
was last week's joke. Don't worry.
oh, damn, I missed out.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Was that also last week where we were hearing her laughing like throughout the
Yes.
entirety of the stream?
Yes, it was. Yeah, because it was
But
you
she
and me
does
last week.
well, fill me in. So she does a crime documentary type of podcast, or
So what she does is, it's her and my sister actually. They do true crime related stuff, like as it pertains to like the outdoors, so all outdoors related crimes and stuff, and then they do paranormal stories and things like that, like haunted forests and
okay,
caves and all this other stuff.
fill me in. Time to add this to the list of non-feel good things. that I
Well,
have to listen to.
do you also listen to Red Web?
No, what the hell's Red Web?
It's another one like
Rooster
that.
Teeth podcast.
It's another one like that too. So
You
you
can
can
listen
have
to
two
Black Hawk
podcasts through the
Down.
Black Hawk Down is aviation incidences,
Yeah, airplane crashes.
which is super interesting to me, because flying is the safest form of travel. So when things do happen, it's interesting to see how the industry changes because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just let
Yeah.
me know, Jay, when she covers the episode on the Bear Whisperer.
The Bear Whisperer.
You've never heard of him?
So like
is that the true Grizzly Adams guy? That
Yeah.
oh my god, you know when I first heard about him, it was like maybe years ago, and then there was a documentary about him, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think I've seen this guy. So like, it doesn't. So like with this qualifies strictly on like someone legit got murdered or disappeared.
Hmm.
They pretty much know what happened to him.
Mauled by
Yeah, but-
I don't know. I mean, if they might. It's just like
I mean, that's
there
not
needs to
the
be-
great outdoors if I've ever heard of any.
there needs to be some creep creep out kind of factor to it rather than this was just a stupid idea.
Like they blamed it on the Jersey Devil or something.
Yeah, like something.
Yeah.
Like prime example, like the woods that they just did an episode on. Like there were like 5 families found dead in it.
Ooh.
Like at
Jesus.
once. Like the article, I think could be fake, but it's like the speculation like surrounds this place. So like just kind of like as an example. But yeah,
Pretty interesting.
the Not So Great Outdoors, findable on YouTube, Spotify, like whatever you listen to stuff on.
Do you know
You know,
what?
hey, if they want to pay for a sponsored ad, I'll read it out.
Do you know what app she uses to do like the MP3 versions to like Spotify and things?
I need to talk to her about it. Don't worry. Don't put me on the fucking spot, asshole.
I started exporting the critically casuals as MP3s, and I was like, it needs to happen. We need the audio versions, or else.
Let's say like I'm their editor now, and generally I just export the whole video as an MP3 file, and then I think that she uses something called Anchor.
Anchor. Okay. All we need.
So
Good to know.
but yeah, man.
What's
That's
something good? What's something good that's happened to you guys' lives that recently? Like what's a feel good thing that we could end on?
Good in my
I mean,
life.
it's 2 months ago now, but I'll keep bragging about it. I got married, so.
Oh yeah, congratulations on that.
Brag about it.
Oh my God, have you not been on a podcast since that happened? You haven't.
No, he
No.
has.
I haven't been on
he
one
has,
with you.
Yes, you
I
guys
haven't been on one with
You
him.
guys haven't been
Yeah.
one together.
Yeah.
Jim's been on, I think, 2 since then,
Mhm.
but you weren't on those.
Yeah.
It was me, Jim, and Steven for those 2.
Well, I still remember I fucking had to do the stupid ass hot sauce shots because
Oh.
For your
And, like,
bachelor.
you know what?
That was for.
The mule sauce that I bought, I don't want to drink it anymore because I've had so much on that day that I don't want to taste it because I think I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah, I can't look at Tapatio anymore because when I had that for my spin the wheel.
So I brought those the Bean Boozle beans to work, and then I was like, "Hey, you can bring these home for your child, and you guys."
Oh
each
my
other."
God.
I was like,
Hear
"No,"
that?
like, they were gonna, but then he was like, "No, I think I'll just leave them here." And then eventually they went missing, so I don't know what happened to them.
You have
Someone
missing bean
took them.
boozles?
Yeah, someone actually took the Bean Boozles home, which is pretty surprising.
That
I
kind
don't
of
know unless they kind of think like the rest of us and thinking this will be a good party gag.
Dude, I saw a tweet or something the other day where a parent was talking about how they started giving their kids like Starburst or something jelly beans. I don't know what brand it was, but apparently 1 out of every 5 of those jelly beans has an awful flavor. So it's like, these are the only candies I'm giving my kids every night. And they're like, I don't want these candies, Mom. And it's because Mom's like, I doesn't realize that one of them tastes awful. It just is perfect. That if I had a child, I would intentionally give them things that they would hate. Like, here, have this lemon. Tell me what you think.
Lemon is delicious.
Not straight lemon, not if you're not prepared for it.
Mhm.
And even still,
That's very
I'll
spicy.
eat straight lemon.
Yeah, lemon's not bad.
too much.
Love me some quality lemon juice in my tea.
Yeah, it's mixed though.
Mhm.
That was something that good happened in my life recently. I bought a tea kettle so I could have tea more regularly. Made me really happy.
That's a good
It's one of
thing.
these things I wish I liked because everybody who likes it seems to enjoy it, but I can't.
I'm with you,
stand it.
Jay. I'm with you.
I like tea for many reasons, but the main reason I like it is because it's cost friendly. You could buy a big old box of tea and that'll last you for months.
Cost
For like
friendly,
a jug of soda.
has caffeine.
Mhm.
It would solve a lot of my problems, honestly, if I like tea. I feel like.
One of these days, maybe. Just gotta. I'm trying to think of a psychology term, but I can't remember it. You just gotta force yourself to like it.
Air.
Never really.
Just only drink tea for about a month straight, then you'll like it.
No, because the closest I could ever come to doing that is like just drinking water, basically. And at that point, it's like, well, now I just want
It's
to have
basically
water.
the same thing, yeah.
Which I have no problem drinking water. I love water, but I love pop. which is my problem.
It's hard. It's hard to give up soda. It
Yep.
really is.
So I gave it up like once in my life. Like, didn't have a drop for like a good, I want to say probably 6 or 7 months. And I was in middle school when this happened, and I was instructed to by a doctor because I was drinking too much of it. I don't remember what exactly they were concerned about, but I had to go back for a follow-up test basically during that amount of time. Like, it wasn't critical. Like, I don't remember being in pain or anything like that. It was just kind of a, hey, this is something you want to watch kind of thing, you know? And
That's wild.
and it was like, so okay, yeah, you're good now. And then I remember not having it for another couple weeks, and then Mom was like, well, do you want to pop? I was like, am I allowed to have it now? I was like, yeah, you're allowed to have it now. Okay, I'll just have one. And I started for a while maintaining pretty nice resilience, and then it just went to hell a couple months after that.
That's kind of the same with me when I got off my diet. There was a diet I was doing in college called the paleo diet, where over a year, all I ate was meat, veggies, fruits, and nuts. And if it didn't fit into that category, I didn't eat it. And then once I left college and moved to Phoenix and started paying for a bunch of different things, I was like, okay, I can't afford my diet anymore. So I have to just start slipping off and going into other things. And I started with French fries. I ate the first thing I ate out of my diet was a large French fry, and that was just the end of it. I just kept buying more French fries and more burgers, and now I'm a fat fuck again. Oh yeah. So yeah, I got nothing else.
I got nothing either, dude. I haven't had anything for a while.
I think we've ended on a high enough note that
I've honestly been scrolling through the
note.
Ant-Man meme because there's some of these things that I forgot, and I'm like, oh yeah. that
I should
happened.
not have linked
I
that.
should not have looked at this. I shouldn't have looked at this. I
Irene
shouldn't
flicked
have
those
looked at
moons.
this. I shouldn't have looked at this.
Well, at least for the most part, I think we're like at least somewhat healthy, right? That's always a good thing. At least as good as much as we can be.
How many pages is this?
I
game?
still have chest pains because they can't figure out what it is.
There's
We're all
46
gonna
pages
die!
to this game.
Oh shit! All right, guys, it's been fun being here. We'll catch you guys on the next episode of podcast.
You killed him.
Yourselves.
With that, we are gonna wrap up.
oh my gosh,
Thank you.
do keep just going.
Cheers, friends. This is my third drink. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. What truly are you having? You have the wild berry?
This one, yeah, it was a wild berry. I had the blueberry one earlier. I
having
will
some
say
raspberry.
that Truly is better than White Claw for me so far.
Depends on the flavor. I think some of their flavors are better than the White Claw flavors, like the mango and stuff like that. But I do have to give White Claw the fact that it has a lemon flavor and a watermelon flavor.
That's better than
Everything that Truly's got. If Truly busts out those, though,
Cheers.
we'll say, you motherfucker.
Jesus Christ, it's your third drink.
Alrighty, we need to wrap
That's
up.
my last one,
All right.
yeah.
I'll see you guys all. We'll see you guys all next week for another episode of the HarHar podcast.
That's weird.
Thank you all for hanging out. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Try not to stress too much tonight, because as much as you can, try to do some things relaxing. Go step outside for a bit. That's what I'm
You've
gonna
done
do.
as much
I don't
as
know
you
how
can.
to be outside.
You have done as much. Oh yeah, you guys can't be outside right now, can you?
Nope.
No. Well, not even. It's just.
Look out a window. I don't know, man. I don't
Put on a
know.
VR headset.
Fuck 2020. Good night.